YouTube, and welcome to our 2024 tier list. Last year we did a recap of all the games that we played in 2023, and I was like, hey, why don't we do this a yearly thing? So it's time for our 2024 tier list of all the games that we have played this year on stream. Now, this doesn't include sponsored games for the most part. Some of the sponsored games made it on the tier list. Cough, cough, Kingdom Hearts, cough, cough, Metaphor. What else was on here? A few other games, which was really freaking cool, by the way. So shout outs to those sponsors. But it's mostly going to be focused on the games that we spent the most time in and like the main story, if you will. All the other sponsored content were like side quests or something. So we're going to be ranking these from, I might make an extra tier for games that I didn't get a chance to finish, just because I don't know if that's fair for me to fully rank something if we didn't get to play it in its entirety. Maybe? We'll see. We'll kind of play that by ear. Also want to mention, all of these rankings are going to be based on my personal preference. I know, crazy opinions, whoa. I know, that's insane. It will be Lunity's opinions, not chat's opinions, not YouTube comments opinions, but feel free to also share your opinions on what you felt was your favorite. I want this to be a nice, civilized, pray for, a miracle. We're just having a good time here. So I don't want anyone to take this too seriously or whatever. We're just here to have a good time. Just for clarification, I'm going to base, because I feel like when it comes to tier lists, there can be so many different ways on how you could rank something. I don't think I'm going to go based off of like, oh, this game was objectively this. I'm just going to go based off of my own personal enjoyment, how I liked the game overall. Because sometimes I catch myself being like, okay, I liked this game, like was S tier for the story, but maybe the gameplay was like D or something like that, you know what I mean? So we'll kind of take into account all of that stuff and we'll just make it an overall tier list, if that makes any sense. So all of these games are in order of which we played first in the year, so starting with Legend of Zelda and then Palworld, etc. And Pokemon Pocket I kind of just tossed in at the end because I've been playing this game a lot, just mostly off stream. So let's dive into it, shall we? So it's kind of hard for me to remember A Link to the Past because this was a year ago. I might even need to pull up, I may need to look up like playthroughs of me playing this because, oh yes, A Link to the Past was with the pink-haired Link. Do you guys remember this? Oh, good times. Okay, this game was actually great. Oh no. I really enjoy these type of Zelda games because it's just such a fun puzzle, like, I don't even know how to explain it. I feel like this is already gonna be really tough. A really tough beginning. Cause where do we rank this? Oh man. Yeah, top-down Zeldas. I want another top-down Zelda, which I know they just came out with Echoes of Wisdom, and it's on our list, and we will be ranking that. But we'll have to get there eventually. Oh, let me also make my cam a little smaller here, because we don't need to be that big. I know for sure this goes in A. Now, I might make adjustments to games as we go along, because sometimes I could place something in a rank and then I'll be like, oh, but wait a minute. Oh, also the ranks will be based on like, if a game is like next to S and like in order, that's gonna matter, okay? Just for placing the ground rules. So A Link to the Past, A for sure. The tricky part is gonna be figuring out where everything else falls into place, you know? And then we were supposed to play Cyberpunk 2077, but all of a sudden, Palworld dropped out of nowhere to me. I didn't know Palworld was gonna happen, and it just kind of took the world by storm, okay? We couldn't not play Palworld. Alright, so I'm sorry, Cyberpunk enjoyers. This is why the Cyberpunk 2077 thing has become a meme in my channel, because I was supposed to play it at the start of 2024, and we still haven't. So now, I'm like, we'll be playing it in 2077. Whatever. Now, Palworld was a great time. We had a great time with Palworld. Any guesses on how many hours we played Palworld for? Dang, you know what? It's actually not that many. You guys are overshooting by quite a lot. It was 125 hours. It definitely felt like a lot though. Palworld, I feel like, deserves to be at least in A. Would I put it in S tier? I don't know. Because to me, I take S tier very seriously. I don't want to just be throwing anything in S tier for the fun of it, okay? S tier, it has to be the best of the best. So we'll put Palworld here for now. Did I like it more than A Link to the Past? I don't know. I feel like it's really hard to compare games like this because this is an open world survival game with not really much of a story to it. Like, it's, let's be honest, it's not its main focus, obviously. But this is like puzzles and story and cute. Also cute. So we'll put it here for now. Like I said, could do some rearranging in the future. Okay, now we have Rebirth. I think Rebirth was my most anticipated game of the year. I was going into 2024 looking forward to Rebirth the most. Rebirth better be S tier or I'm flooding her YouTube comments. Rebirth for me, easy S tier for sure. I really enjoyed it. Rebirth is my first time playing the Final Fantasy VII games because I didn't play the OG Final Fantasy VII. So I'm experiencing Remake, Rebirth, and I'm going to be waiting for the third Final Fantasy VII game before, like, I don't want to play the OG before I play all of those. So yeah, waiting for the third game to experience the game in its entirety. And then we'll be playing, you know, Crisis Core, all that kind of stuff afterwards. But yeah, we played a lot of Square Enix games this year. This year is truly like Square Enix's year for Lunity. Yeah, we'll play Crisis Core afterwards, so we'll have to wait a few years for that, but I think it'll be worth it, because I've heard some people say, you know, spoilers for Final Fantasy VII and all of that, so we'll wait. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, easy S tier. Music was great, gameplay was great. I liked all of the side content with it as well. The story, fantastic, obviously. Yeah, Rebirth took us a while. We spent 143 hours on Rebirth. More than Palworld. Honestly, not surprising though. Okay, now we have Rise of the Ronin. I feel like this is the underdog of the entire year. I think a lot of people may have forgotten that this game came out, and I don't think a lot of people really played this game. I think it came out around the same time as Dragon's Dogma did. Haven't played it yet, but looks good, I want to play it. I actually really enjoyed Rise of the Ronin. It reminded me of Ghost of Tsushima, which is one of my favorite games of all time, but not quite there. The combat is really good in Rise of the Ronin. I really like it, it feels really smooth, there's a lot of options. I liked the customizability in the game. You could wear like any outfit, which I thought was really cool. There's a lot to do. I'm the type of person that likes a lot of checklists in games because I like acquiring things, collecting things, checking off lists. It's so satisfying to me, and that's a really big, it's up there for when it comes to gameplay in any game. If it has any of that stuff, then, you know, good on the Lunity list. However, the graphics were like okay, but I feel like a lot of people were dogging on them way too hard. I feel like people were a little too critical on the graphics for Rise of the Ronin. It had more of like a realistic look to it. It did have some jank to it, I'm not gonna lie and say it was perfect. The graphics were where it fell short a little bit. The story was interesting because it was kind of like historical, which I do like. I don't know if I want to put Rise of the Ronin in B or in low A. I'm gonna put it high B. Yeah, these are not 100% set in stone. So Ubisoft the game, is that what it is? I haven't really played, I actually don't think I've played a Ubisoft game other than Outlaws before. I think Outlaws might be my first one, aside from Anno. I don't know if Anno counts. If you guys are looking for a game that plays like Ghost of Tsushima, and you miss that game and you want more, and you're like okay with having graphics not being exactly like Ghost of Tsushima, I would recommend Rise of the Ronin. It's a good game. Okay, now we have Stellar Blade. I was not planning on playing this game when I saw the trailers for it. I didn't know much about it other than booty, to be honest. When I remember seeing the trailers and I was like, pass. It didn't seem like the story was gonna be super compelling or something that really was gonna grip me. It looked really cool, but it wasn't really on my to-play list. But then it kind of started getting a bit more traction, and I was like, okay, well, you know what, maybe we'll give it a go. Maybe we'll give it a look. And I enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun. The combat was super fun. We tried to challenge ourselves a little bit towards the end, and so some of the fights got a little trickier. We did a lot of limitations, or we set some limitations on ourselves, I think. Yeah, the booty pulled me in. But what I really liked about Stellar Blade were like all the different outfits were super fun. The music was stunning. It was really, really beautiful. The worlds looked really cool. I think the only unfortunate thing with Stellar Blade, which could be my own fault, was like the story was like okay. It was, you know, it was eh. But the problem with the story is that it's mostly in a lot of reading content where you have to like read the stuff that you pick up, and there's a lot of extra context in that, and we didn't take the time to read any of those because I feel like when you're streaming, it's kind of, mind you, we do it now with like every single report with Kingdom Hearts, but for those it was like a lot of reading and I didn't feel very enticed to read it. So maybe it was like user error or whatever, but the story was still kind of like, I mean, if I'm going to compare the story to other games that we played this year, it was, you know, nothing special to me. Now, Stellar Blade, where do I put you? It's tough. It's tough. Because it has a lot of stuff that I liked, but it's also like not amazing. No offense. Still enjoyable. Very enjoyable game. I think it's gonna go B. Did I like Rise of the Ronin more than Stellar Blade? I think if I take everything into account, like all the stuff that I liked in Rise of the Ronin, ooh, if I could make it a tie, I would. Because I love the aesthetic and the music in Stellar Blade, but also like the gameplay and the customizability in Rise of the Ronin. Mind you, this obviously is customizable as well, and the story I liked more. If you combine the two, we get an A game. I enjoyed playing it. I definitely enjoyed playing it, for sure. I'm gonna put this here. Sounds like Rise is above from your feedback. I'm thinking as well. Still a great game though. I don't think B is like bad. B does not stand for bad. B is just like average. You know, pretty good. I would say that this is like good. This is pretty good. This is like better than pretty good. This is just amazing. And then D is like, do not recommend, I guess. Okay, now. The reason we decided to start playing NieR Automata and NieR Replicant was because of Stellar Blade. So shout out to Stellar Blade, because a lot of people, when we were doing the Stellar Blade playthrough, were like, this is very similar to Automata. Or it has a lot of, maybe inspiration, takes a lot of inspiration from Automata, or I think mostly Automata, right? So NieR Automata, I didn't know anything about it beforehand. All I knew was what 2B looked like, because I had seen endless cosplayers cosplaying as 2B, obviously. How could you not? Automata, easiest S of my life. Now the thing is, do I think NieR Automata beats Rebirth? Is a question. That's a tough question. Very tough question. So we definitely put more time into Rebirth. Rebirth is 143 hours. NieR Automata is 65.9. So I feel like it's kind of unfortunate because it's hard to compare a game that has like double the amount of time played, just because there's so much content in this. Like all of those mini games, all of the extra, I don't know. But the thing about NieR Automata is it is a unique gaming experience unlike anything. No, I have to. I'm sorry. I don't know if anyone's going to be offended by this, but it has to be done because I'm reminding myself. This was a unique experience. I have never experienced a game like NieR Automata in my entire life. The way that they had different endings, the way that the endings were like so different and could happen at any given moment. The way the story is told, I am a sucker for stories like this. I really, really, really love a story that gives you a lot of like introspection. It's very philosophical. I like a lot of like really deep and, you know, a lot of deep stories and things that really make you reflect on life. I like that stuff. So NieR Automata, excellent game. I really, really, really liked it. Wait, Greg is a fan. Oh, Greg is here. Hey, Greg, how are you? How's it going? Chat, did you know that Greg voices, is it the main character in season 2? You're back in season 2 Squid Game. Peep out his newest work, y'all. Also, Greg was in, he's in Metaphor. Also, he's in NieR Automata, right? Yes. Greg made it in our S tier. Yeah, he's Adam. He's Adam and more in Metaphor. Yeah, Greg's a little superstar around here, okay? And a small part in Rebirth. Wait, and Ronin? Wait, really? He was a trainer. Wait, I have to look up. Yeah, you were head of a dojo in the game. That's really cool. Yeah, who did you play in Rebirth? Oh, you played Scotch? Wait a minute. Dude, this guy, y'all, he was him. This guy. So yes, NieR Automata, easy S, even S+. Here's the thing, okay? We got NieR Replicant also. We obviously played, so we played Automata first, before NieR Replicant, and I know some people had opinions about that. Some people were like, oh, you should play Replicant first before Automata. But to be honest, I am really glad that we did play Automata first. Someone actually commented this on one of my videos recently, and I told them, I was like, I am glad that we started with Automata because I didn't know what to expect going into Automata. And I feel like if I played NieR Replicant first, I'm not too sure if I would have given it a fair chance, just because the gameplay is kind of outdated, to be honest. Haha. It's a little more outdated, it's a little crusty, as Not Max would say, with a heart. And it's a little, like a lot of back and forth, a lot of, you know, it was a little rough around the edges, okay? However, because I played Automata first, I fell in love with the story, and I wanted more. So because of that, and also the gameplay in Automata is kind of like an easier introduction into the series. It eases you into the game a little better. It's a lot smoother to play. So I think it's like a better gaming experience overall. NieR Replicant, I feel like it's for the fans, okay? If you like NieR Automata, you should play Replicant, because Replicant was beautiful. I loved it so much. I actually prefer the characters in Replicant. I'm sorry, comparatively to Automata, but like, how could you not? It's the found family trope, kind of similar to Final Fantasy VII. It's just beautiful. Also, have you seen these characters? Have you just seen them? Come on. Oh my god. Perfect games. Perfect in its own janky kind of way. Final Fantasy VII has an excellent group of main characters. I feel like both of these are like top group of characters in any games of all time for me. Like if I were to think of a lot of games that I've played, I feel like these have my favorite characters of all time, period. Also, I am a weeb, so it, you know. Oh yeah, also, don't even get me started on the fucking music in this game, okay? The music in this game, I have so much high praise for the NieR series. I just do. I just really do. I think Replicant might have soundtracks that are a bit more memorable. Maybe it's because they play them so frequently, but in also the most important moments. Like they really are to the characters, like you remember them more. Honestly feel like these are also tied to me, but Automata a little bit more just because of the quality of life and the unique gaming experience. She bought Grimoire Noir on her own time. I'd be surprised if it was any lower. Not only that, but I watched a 7-hour video. A 7-hour video after I played NieR Replicant that went over the entirety of the NieR timeline and went over the games that came before NieR Replicant even. I just really loved this universe, this NieR universe, even more than Rebirth. Rebirth was still great, but this would be S+. If I had an S+ tier, I would put these both in there. I could gush about this forever. So if you're really into, it's a very sad story. I really like sad stories. I like philosophical stories. I like psychological stories. If anything that provokes your mind and thinking and reflecting on life, and if you just want to feel something, play these games. 100% recommend them. Let's carry on, because I could talk about this forever. So I'm just gonna cut myself off. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. So this is a little unfortunate because I had to drop Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, because when we were playing this, unfortunately, I was dealing with a lot of wrist problems. I went a little too ham when it came to editing and just playing games. I fucked up my wrist for like months and it wasn't healing. So I had to drop it, and we haven't gotten a chance to get back to it yet. My wrist is feeling much better now, thankfully, because I'm not editing as much as I used to, and I haven't gone rock climbing, I haven't been using my PlayStation 5 controller. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Anyways, I may need to make an extra tier purely because I don't feel like it's fair for me to rank this because we haven't even played much of it. If I had played at least half of it or like 3/4 for me to be able to put it somewhere, I would be okay with that, but alas. However, I don't want to make a tier yet because I like if I make an extra tier, we won't be able to see everything. So I'll save this for later. Okay, I'll put it here for now, for the sake of being able to see everything right now. However, Elden Ring, I do enjoy. If I were to put it somewhere, probably A. Somewhere in A. How far did we get? Yeah, basically Rolana, and then I think we stopped shortly after that. That means we move on to Chrono Trigger. Oh man, so Chrono Trigger has the nostalgia aspect for me because this was my first ever JRPG in my entire life. The reason we played Chrono Trigger was because of the wrist. I was like, okay, maybe if we play something that's less mashy, buttony, how about we dip our toes into turn-based games because that's obviously going to be better for my wrist, and maybe, you know, open the world to turn-based gaming because I really don't like certain types of turn-based games, and so it kind of turned me away from even wanting to try some new turn-based games. Like, for example, I wasn't really interested in playing Baldur's Gate 3 when that came out because I knew it was going to be turn-based, and I was like, I don't really like turn-based. However, now that we played Chrono Trigger, again, like I said, this was my first ever JRPG game. I don't remember how old I was when I played it first, but I really enjoyed it. And now that we replayed it, I'm open to the world of turn-based. However, I will be honest with you, there are still some games and turn-based that I really don't like. I really don't like when you just get a random encounter out of nowhere and it's just fucking over and over and over and over, and it's just like back to back to back to back, and it's kind of just like it's too repetitive for me. Yeah, it is the classic JRPG experience, and shoot, it's also kind of why I'm not super big. Okay, please don't hate me. Y'all know I love my Pokemon, but I also am not super big on like repetitive Pokemon encounters in the grass, and like you're just trying to run, and like, you know, you're running through a cave and then you get hit by a Zubat. You're just like, oh my god, I'm just trying to get over here. Like, I'm just trying to move, and there's just something popping out at you, and it's and like, I know, bitch, I'm just trying to get out of this cave. I still love Pokemon though. I still love these stories, and I still love the experience, and the music is fire, of course, but it's just kind of like, it's not my thing, is all. I know repels exist, but you know. I think that's why I really liked Pokemon Legends Arceus when that came out. Whenever Pokemon Legends Z comes out, we're playing the shit out of that. You know it. But yeah, still love Pokemon. It's just that type of turn-based is not my style. It's not for me. If you love it, yay, I'm glad that you do. Back to Chrono Trigger. Where do I put this? Because this is tough. Because I have nostalgia. It's a great game though. I think it still holds up. The story is so good. It's a great story. The art, phenomenal. R.I.P. Toriyama. Like, the turn-based isn't too bad. There were some fights that were kind of tricky, but that's good. Also, multiple endings, which I didn't even know. Oh boy. Ooh, do I like Chrono Trigger more than A Link to the Past? That is a good comparison because, you know, both retro games. Ooh, good question. I think the story of Chrono Trigger I do like more than A Link to the Past. Chrono Trigger's more story heavy, like story front. Zelda is more like puzzle focus, like puzzle front. That makes it a little awkward because I was gonna put Chrono Trigger here, but then I was like, wait a minute. Well, to be fair, this is one of those moments where like the gameplay of A Link to the Past I prefer because I did like the gameplay of A Link to the Past. Like, that was so fun. If Chrono Trigger had the gameplay of A Link to the Past, High A, easy. Yeah, I need a Chrono Trigger remaster right now. Right the heck now. The way you talking, more excited with Zelda than Chrono? Yeah, I think it just feels kind of bad because like this is like my nostalgia baby, you know what I mean? But I don't want that to influence too much my decision making. So I will put Chrono Trigger in A for now. We can reassess. I think this just has so, like the gameplay was so much fun. This was more like, okay, it's turn-based everything, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. Classic turn-based game, but this was special. This had a bit more something to it. Okay. Now, we move on to Kingdom Hearts 1, which we technically started a little earlier at some point. We actually played this around the time we were playing Automata, because we were sponsored by Square Enix to play it, which was really freaking cool. And because of that sponsorship, we ended up playing all these Kingdom Hearts games. It was not even on my bingo list for 2024. I had no plans to play Kingdom Hearts this year, but it was in the cards, okay? It was meant to be. The universe made it happen. It was meant to be. Now, I was thinking about this earlier because I was a little stressed out because I don't want people to come for my neck depending on where I rank Kingdom Hearts stuff. However, I think Kingdom Hearts is really hard to rank because it's more than just game number 1 and Chain of Memories, and then Kingdom Hearts 2, and then 3, 5, 8 over 2 days, and then Birth by Sleep, and then whatever comes after that, you know? It's really hard to rank them separately because it's almost like you need all of them to really get the full experience. And we haven't even finished the entirety of the series. But I will do my best, and I don't want anyone to get their feelings hurt, because so far, I'm gonna say this right now without even getting to these, the overall story of Kingdom Hearts, I think is the most important to me. Like, the gameplay comes secondary. The whole story as a whole, definitely I would put S. However, the games individually may not make it into S, if that makes sense. It's kind of like if you watch like a TV series, like maybe one season you hate, and then one season is like the best, or like it's really good, but overall the show you would put it into S. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I will kind of put a few other things into consideration here. So I think overall the story of Kingdom Hearts, I would put S. I would put it here, personally. Just like if I put Kingdom Hearts all in one package, I'd put it there. However, we have to do them individually, so it's kind of, you know. Kingdom Hearts 1, beautiful, very cute, very lovable. The worlds, the different worlds, very fun, but also pretty clunky. Pretty clunky. My biggest issue with Kingdom Hearts throughout is the goddamn menus and the UI and the tutorials. It is just, your girl struggles with it, okay? That's honestly, like, my only critique that I really, truly have a problem with Kingdom Hearts is I can't do the tutorials for some reason. It just doesn't stick with me. But maybe that's just a me problem. That could very well be. Where would I put Kingdom Hearts 1? Yeah, the clunkiness, you know, it's the oldest of the series, so obviously it's gonna have some jank. That comes with any older game. It's the first, so it's the introduction to our characters, which does have a lot of weight to it. See, the thing is, I have to keep in mind where other games also place for me. I think I'm going to put this in... Please don't hate me. Please don't hate me. I'm putting it in B for now. Drama time, stop. Because if I feel like I have to do the others at the same time. Like, you know, like it's tough. I thought you were gonna put it in C. Well, need I remind myself of that last Ansem fight? Oh, that's right. No, just kidding. But also, am I really kidding? Is she kidding? Yeah, that last Ansem fight took me out, dude. It was not okay. I was not okay. Well, I have to consider the other games, okay? Because sometimes I have to readjust depending on, like, okay, I liked this, but I didn't like it that much, but also like this. We'll see. Pending. We'll put it here for now. Chain of Memories. Oh, what an experience that was. I know I haven't put Chain of Memories on the channel at the time of posting this video, but I don't even know how the fuck I should edit that video, by the way. Because I don't know if I should put in the gameplay or if I should just put the cutscenes. I genuinely don't even know how I'm gonna edit that. So the thing about Chain of Memories is it started here for me, right? Because I was like, what the fuck is this card thing? What is this card thing? What is the deal with this mechanic? What the hell? And then 4 days in, and I was like, I love it. I love it. I don't know if I'd put it in 8, but okay, let's relax. Let's assess, okay? Now, story-wise, yeah, it took us 4 days to get used to this. So this could be spoiler territory for those that haven't seen Chain of Memories if you want to wait for that to be uploaded to the channel. Otherwise, if you don't want to wait, the full playthrough is available on my Patreon. Link is in the description below. Also, yeah, we're up to Birth by Sleep at this point in the video. If you're watching even further in the future, we probably have the full series done eventually. But as of right now, check out the Patreon. Full playthroughs of Chain of Memories on there, Kingdom Hearts 2, Days, and BBS. So Chain of Memories. I have to think back to like what happened in the story for this because, right. So yeah, spoiler warning for Chain of Memories if you haven't played. So this was our introduction to Organization 13, which was pretty cool. See, here's the thing, is Chain of Memories opened up like a whole new world to Kingdom Hearts for me, right? Because Kingdom Hearts 1, it's like, oh yeah, cute. 3 friends on an adventure, cute, nice. And then it was like, what is this? Because Organization 13, and it's like, what? And then we got to this and it was like, oh fuck. And then it got to this and it's like, oh fuck. And then this was like, what the fuck? So it's like, when I say it's a whole experience, like you can't, it's hard to rank them individually because it's a whole. It's all together. What do I rank Chain of Memories? Did I like Chain of Memories more than Kingdom Hearts 1? I'm going to say, I think Chain of Memories is C tier. If you're thinking this hard on it, it goes down a tier. Well, I don't think it's D tier because I think the roughness of like, I'm glad that we played the game because a lot of people were like, you're not gonna like it. Not a lot of people like this game and I can understand why. Like I said, it took us 4 streams before I got the fucking hang of this game. And then I started really liking it. The gameplay, obviously like very different, very unique, very niche. So I'm taking into account the struggle and like the learning curve. And the overall story was cool, but I do think I enjoyed the Kingdom Hearts 1 story a little bit more overall. Like this is more of like a introduction. Like, this is still needed, still necessary, but also, it was okay. It was okay. 4 streams to get the flow deserves C, something like that. If she puts Chain of Memories over Kingdom Hearts 1, YouTube comment's gonna do crazy work. Watching the VOD, it seemed like you liked the story of it, but we're glad you didn't have to freak with the mechanics. Yeah, I did like the story of it. Because I loved the introduction to Organization 13. I thought that the introduction to those extra characters was really cool. I was like, oh, like I said, it opened a new door to Kingdom Hearts for me. Because I was like, whoa, okay. This is more than just cute Disney. Chain of Memories, C, but also like, still not bad. Just a little rough, but that's okay. Black Myth Wukong. Oh man, Black Myth Wukong. I really liked. It was great. A lot of people didn't like how it was like a boss rush, but that was one of my favorite parts of it personally, because when it comes to a Souls game, I really just love going boss to boss to boss. Like, give it to me. Give me the boss. Next, give me the next one. Let's go. The exploration was kind of hard at times without a map. Mind you, with Souls games, the first time we got a map in a Souls game was Elden Ring. I had to use my brain big time when it came to the exploration. The exploration was stunning though. There was a lot of beautiful scenery. It was gorgeous. This game was stunning. Really, really beautiful. We even took the time to play the game on the PC and look at the ray tracing and stuff. I was blown away. That was my first time playing a game with ray tracing on and seeing it and all of that. Absolutely gorgeous game from start to finish. Difficulty-wise, it was, I don't know if it's because I played a lot of Souls-like games. Part of me wishes it was a little harder at times, which I know a lot of people might be like, that might sound like humble braggy. Sorry, I don't mean for it to come off that way. However, once we hit a certain boss, oh boy. Christ in heaven. However, it was worth it. I really loved Wukong. This is an easy S for me. Now, I don't know if I place it... This was like my biggest struggle with even just wanting to choose who to win Game of the Year, because Rebirth I loved, Wukong I loved, Metaphor I loved. It was really hard to choose one. And now I have to pick where Wukong goes. Does Wukong go before Rebirth or not for me? I also really loved those in-between chapter animations. Those were stunning, beautiful. And I liked the mythology, like learning the stories of Chinese mythology through the game was really cool to me, because I like learning historical stuff through games. I think that's fun. The thing about Rebirth is it does have that story aspect to where like you fall in love with the characters, and there's nothing, it's so hard to beat something like that. Once you get Lunity to fall in love with your characters through a story, it's over. Wukong didn't have that, but it was very enjoyable, very stunning, beautiful. I think this is a good spot. I think Rebirth overall as a game, I think I have a little bit more bias to story games. I really like a good story game. So, I actually trust you more than the Game Awards. Well, I haven't played Astrobot, so, I didn't get a chance to play Astrobot this year. I would be curious to know where I would rank Astrobot at this point, to be honest. I'm sure it's a good game, though. The characters in Wukong didn't grab you as much as other S-tier games. Yeah, the closest I got to really loving a character was Baji. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but he was great. I think I was just so blown away by it. Like, there aren't a lot of games that I just stop to look at the world. And I did that a lot in Wukong. So, yes, I'm happy with Black Myth Wukong's place. I think it was really good. Okay, now we are on to Star Wars Outlaws. The only problem with Star Wars Outlaws is we haven't finished the game. I want to rank it, and I probably will rank it, but to be fair to the game, I'm gonna have to put it in its own category of we didn't finish it. Now, I know a lot of you guys would put it in D. However, I actually really enjoyed Outlaws. I know that might be a hot take for some of y'all, but I really liked it. I loved the character, Kay's character. Her awkwardness was so well, the performance for her character's awkwardness was really well done. I feel like I really liked that her character was awkward. It fit her character really well. I loved just like experiencing her trying to just get through life in the galaxy, trying to, work with all these different clans or whatever, and trying to make her way, trying to find her own path in her life. Also, Nyx, very cute. I think it was a little rough in the beginning when we were doing the demo for it, or the first day. The first day was I was having a little bit of issues with it. They've done a few updates since then. We haven't played it since they did the really big update. Aside from that, I know graphically there was a little bit of jankiness to it sometimes, like maybe the faces had a little bit of like lack of emotion or something. But honestly, that's not really a big deal to me. I care more about like the overall experience. Like when it comes to graphics, I can overpass graphics very easily. I really loved the exploration for this. Like I said at the start of the stream, or the start of the video, I'm a big fan of checklists, of collect this thing, do this stuff. So, and I haven't played a lot of Ubisoft games. I know a lot of people have issues with Ubisoft. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the issues are personally. So I'm just going into this by blindly and enjoying it based off of my own personal experience without any prior bias or preconceived whatever. And I really liked Outlaws. I actually want to continue playing it. Yeah, I'm a completionist, so you know, all the side quests and stuff I really liked. The only thing I didn't really like was the space stuff because it kind of made me a little motion sick, but it was a really cool concept. I like the idea of going into actual space and just flying our own spaceship and doing all of that. I would actually, I have to put Outlaws with Elden Ring in the unfinished category, but if I were to put it somewhere from what we've played, because we've played a good chunk of Outlaws, more than we played Shadow of the Erdtree, I have enough of an opinion to give it somewhere at least, without having experienced the full story, mind you. I would put this right here, between Rise of the Ronin and Stellar Blade. I feel pretty good about that, actually. I know, might not be how you guys feel about it. I'm sure all of you would go D easy, but I would happily put it right here. If I were to choose, it would go here, right here. But we will be putting it in its own category for later under unfinished. Now, we have The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I feel like this one's kind of a tough one. It was very cute, super adorable, very, very, very cute. The puzzles were fun. I'm gonna be honest, I was a little disappointed by it. I feel like I wished it was a Link to the Past. Like, I was wishing for it to be a modern take on a Link to the Past type of game. I don't think I missed being Link necessarily. I think there was something about just conjuring, I don't know, summoning maybe like a monster and having the monster fight for me that I was kind of like about. Like, I know I could bring out my own sword or whatever at a certain point. It was okay. I do feel like this felt a bit more kid-friendly to me. Like, not as difficult. Mind you, some puzzles I did get stumped for a bit. I definitely did get stumped on some of the puzzles, which was fun. I liked that when that happened. But then sometimes it kind of felt like, okay, well, just go do this thing. And I'm sure there were different ways to, you know, solve some of the puzzles that could have made it a bit more challenging or whatever. I'm sure there's ways that you can set your own difficulty to it or whatever. But it was okay. It was just okay to me. The story was also like, you know, like the companion, loved the companion. That was really cute. I just wish it was a little... I wish it was like this. If they could have just made a game exactly like this, but modernized and Zelda, I would have probably loved it more. I'm kind of like fighting my demons to put it in D. It just felt a little lacking to me. I wanted more out of it. But then it's like, did I really like it that much less than Chain of Memories? Kinda? Like, if I were to put this among all the other Zelda games that I've played, it would still be the lowest on my list on the Zelda games, no offense. Like I said, D isn't bad, it's just okay. This is a little better than okay. This is pretty good. This is very good, and this is excellent. It's still not F tier though. I don't even know if I feel good doing this. It'll probably make people feel better. But that's not what this tier list is for now, is it? All that Echoes of Wisdom delay before Kingdom Hearts 2 for it to be a D. I know, well, that's the thing too, is when I was playing it, I was kind of like ready for it to be over a little bit, you know? I was kind of over it. I was ready for the next thing, but I was already so invested in the game that I was like, I have to finish it. I'm sorry. It's just how I felt. It's just how I felt. Because I was like, I would rather play something else. Now, remember what I said about it's your tier list and not let chat influence you? Metaphor gets a pass. Okay, so technically, we also haven't finished Metaphor, so it should also be in the category of Elden Ring Outlaws. However, I have very strong feelings about Metaphor that I have to just put it somewhere, okay? I just have to. I can't not. I love this game, and I haven't even finished it. It's easy here for me. I just feel like we are, I don't even know, maybe a quarter into the game. I know I've only posted episode 1 on the channel for this. I'm so sorry about that. I've been meaning to post more. I would still like to post more. We have been only playing it 1 day a week. Every Monday, we do Metaphor Mondays. So it's gonna take us a while to finish the game. For those that wanna know where we're at without spoiling anything, we finished, we're doing some side questing in Martyra. We finished a very big main story that involves, you probably know what I mean. You probably know what I mean. So that's where we are at this point in time. And I just love this game. It was my first time playing any Atlas game. I haven't played Persona before. Obviously big anime fan, and I just feel like this is like a game made for me. I love the story themes. I love the setting. I love the music. The art style of the game is insane. Mind you, at first it was a little overwhelming for me, and it was a lot to take in. It took me a minute to get used to, but I love it. The characters are so likable. The voice acting is phenomenal. The side questing feels fun. I think the only thing that is a bit unfortunate is you cannot play Metaphor for like an hour at a time. You have to minimum play it for like 3. Yeah, the time management is a little stressful at times. It's something to get used to. It's just a great game. I really, really, really like it. So much so I get sad when I don't get the chance to play it more than 1 day a week. Easy S tier. I would put it before Rebirth, but it's not quite, I mean, who knows? Maybe if I finish Metaphor, maybe it would have been the S+, even above Automata for me. I don't know. Hard to say. Easy spot for Metaphor. Now, we have Kingdom Hearts 2 is next on the list. I definitely liked the most compared to these two at this point in time. It might be my favorite out of the ones we've played so far. Birth by Sleep is also really good though. So these next 3 are kind of tough for me because I'm like, I would put Kingdom Hearts 2 easy A, high A for me. Oh, high A. I don't know if I would put it into S just because this is like the Kingdom Hearts as a whole. It goes here. But on their own, you know, don't read the YouTube comments. Again, just Looney's personal opinion. If Kingdom Hearts 2 is S+ for you, I am very happy for you. I'm stoked. Yay. Yes. Good. Very good. But for me personally, like I said, the Kingdom Hearts story as a whole it goes here. But individually, you know, we gotta sprinkle them out a little bit. Kingdom Hearts 2 had my favorite worlds. I think I do like when it is like our main characters in it with, you know, Sora, Riku, Kairi, Donald, and Goofy. That is like main cast Kingdom Hearts, perhaps. Excuse me. Like, I think it's just, I don't know if it's because we start the game off with that you kind of just get attached to those characters more, maybe. However, Roxas, etc. characters are absolutely fantastic. And I think Days and Kingdom Hearts 2, like Kingdom Hearts 2 is where it really started picking up for me, and it really became more than just like cute Disney game. I mean, mind you, it started doing that in Chain of Memories, but Kingdom Hearts 2 is where it really, because when I went into Kingdom Hearts, I didn't really know anything about what the story was like. I went completely blind. And I was like, oh yeah, it's just gonna be cute, anime, Disney-like type of game, you know, friendship. And then it's just, like I said, it just progressively is like, holy shit. It is so much more than that. But yes, Kingdom Hearts 2, favorite worlds, story progression, holy shit. This is when I really started taking my notes, right? Like, Kingdom Hearts 2 was really when it just like, cat's out of the bag, all of this stuff is happening. So it's a very high A for me, for sure, Kingdom Hearts 2. Days, yeah, so this is, we didn't get the chance to play it, so the gameplay aspect of it is irrelevant. I can't rank it. And so we're just going based off of the story. But I think it's easy to just put it here for me because it's such a immediate tie-in to Roxas. Like, this is basically like Roxas' backstory, right? Easy follow-up to Kingdom Hearts 2. We are technically not exactly done with Birth by Sleep. We finished all 3 characters' main stories, but we have some extra side stuff that we are actually planning on playing after this tier list. So once again, reiterating, we are very far ahead on stream comparatively to what I'm uploading to the channel currently. So if you want to see where we're at, that's available on the Patreon if you really can't wait. Like I said, link in the description below. I'm really enjoying Birth by Sleep. The characters are really cool. And the story it's a unique game comparatively to, I mean, mind you, a lot of these games are very unique because they're just so different and they're all the handheld and stuff like that. I want to put Birth by Sleep here. I think it's hard. It's kind of like maybe a little unfair to this because this just has so much more in it compared to this for me because we're actually playing it. We didn't get a chance to play the gameplay of Days, so it's like, you know. But I think I really am liking the, well, shoot. It's actually kind of tough because it's because of this guy and this. And this. And this. What if I said these were tied as of right now? I think I want to say these are tied for me as of this point in time before we've seen the extra content. We have to get a report number 5 is what we're missing. And then we have Pokemon TCG Pocket. I mean, I feel like this is just so hard to rank because this is just so different from everything else. This is so different from everything else. It's such a good game, though. Where do I put it? I don't even know. Here. I'll put it here. I think that's good. It's a mobile game, right? Yeah, but it's a very good mobile game. It's a very good mobile game. We have a lot of fun with that. So, S tier for the 1 mil God Pack clip. Honestly, we did get a God Pack. It is a good mobile game. Have you played it? If not, get your copium out of here. Okay, I need to add an extra tier list. How do I do that? Oh God, unfinished. Oh, okay. I think Elden Ring, where did I say I would put this? Outlaws, I would still put here. Outlaws is basically B. Elden Ring, it's really hard to gauge. Maybe here? I think it would go in A. Don't forget to change the color. Oh, yes. How do I change the color? There we go. There we go. Yeah, so this is our official list of 2024 of all the games that we played, the main games, not counting sponsored games, obviously. Huge, huge games. Like, Kingdom Hearts series, amazing. NieR series, amazing. Black Myth Wukong, amazing. Can't wait for the 3rd installment of the Final Fantasy VII series. Really excited for that, whenever that will be. And a lot of great extra stuff in here, too. It was a good time. If we were to put the unfinished games in the list somewhere, this is where it would be. Because I know Elden Ring DLC and Outlaws are a little out of place in the unfinished. But this would be the list. And then otherwise, it would have to be this. Technically. Hope no one is offended by this list. I hope you guys enjoyed this tier list, and thank you for watching along with me. Let me know what you guys think about which games you feel, what are you'd place in S. I'm sure a lot of people would put Kingdom Hearts 2 in S. Out of all the Kingdom Hearts games, though, Kingdom Hearts 2 so far is definitely my favorite one. And yeah, I would say these are a tie. Can't wait to see what games we play in 2025. Thank you guys for being here. Also, the gaming channel we just started this year, so I want to say a big shout out to all of my subscribers on there. Thank you guys for supporting me and the channel this year, and looking forward to all the videos and games we play together in 2025. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.